Hey guys, it's CrystalRenèe here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, thanks for joining. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is CrystalRenèe here, and I'm here to share with you my top 10 plants that I'm loving the most this month. If you're interested in what I gotta show you, then stay tuned. They're in no particular order. I'm just gonna dive right into this video and show you what I have. Now, this I have is my Hoya Polynaira. As you all may know, recognize her, I posted a video on unboxing her. And as you can see, she's a little bit shorter than what she was before. And that is because I took a few cuttings from her. But she is doing amazing. She has new growth all over the place. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. I'm going to try to zoom in and maybe put in a little B-roll in so that you guys can get a good view of what she looks like. But yes, she is beautiful, and she is loving it here in my home, and I'm loving her. Here I have is my neon pothos. This neon pothos came as two plants actually, and it almost died back. Both plants almost died back to nothing. I took a few cuttings and I rooted them. It turned into one long stem. I tried to stake it up so that to encourage larger leaves, which worked, as you can see. And I staked it up and it grew just as long as this one is. And then I propagated it, and then I rooted it up as individual leaves. And after they rooted, I placed them here in the bottom area to fill it in a bit more, so that once they grow out, they're all going to be bushy growing up the stake. Since I've cut it back, the single stem has grown back to its original state where it was before. So this is why I'm loving this plant. The next plant you've all seen before as well. And this is my Philodendron Pink Princess. She is gorgeous. And I'm loving this plant, guys, because this plant is spitting out pink like it's never spit out pink before. As you know, if I've had issues with this plant not putting out any pink. I chopped it all the way back, propagated individual leaves. I kept two of them. I actually sold the rest of the cuttings from this plant. I kept two of the most variegated ones, and I potted them up together in the same pot here. As you can see, this side is the mother plant side. I kept the mother plant, and the mother plant is doing its thing. You hear me? She said, "You gave me a haircut and I'm loving it." So, and she's showing it. And so I put one of the highly propagated leaves on the other side, and she's also shooting out a lot of pink as well. And then, if that wasn't enough, out of nowhere, this little plant you see here, I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna try to give you guys some B-roll of it or zoom in, but it pushed out another little baby plant, and it is highly variegated as well. So that is why I am loving my Philodendron Pink Princess right about now. Here we have is my Fiddle Leaf Fig. I know it's been a while since you all have seen this plant. It's been a very long time. I actually only probably have one video about this plant, and that is when I got it. And I got it from the one and only plant swap that I've ever been to at the Plant Stand of Arizona, which I did a video on. I will have it linked above if you want to check that out. Yes, and I got this as a swap, and I think it was like one or two, I think it was 2 leaves. It was one nice sized leaf and a little baby leaf. It didn't do anything, and it took a while for it to do anything for me. Like, it gave me good roots. This plant has gone through a lot. It's been in leca soil. I think I went put it back in just plain water at one point. Now it's back in soil, and yeah, it's doing its thing. It's putting out a lot of new leaves. Now, I did have a point where it did get spider mites, so that is why it has a little damage to the leaf, but I did treat it and it's looking much better. I hope to get this to be a nice mature plant soon. But that is why I'm loving my Fiddle Leaf Fig right about now. So next up, I have my variegated heartleaf philodendron. I got this as a swap. I don't even know if I mentioned this plant on my channel yet. I don't think I have. This was just a 3-leaf cutting. It was a vining cutting. It had 3 leaves attached. This is one of the original leaves, and this is an original leaf. And this one here that looks like it's on its way out was an original leaf. And it grew everything else since I've had it. It was a vine of 3 that I received. Then when I brought it home, I propagated it and made it 3 leaves separately, and I rooted them up. And once they rooted, I potted them all together and created 3 different plants. And then when it grew out, I took 2 cuttings from it. This is how it's grown since then. And it is putting out all these new shoots. If you can see that. This plant is just gorgeous. It's like the variegation on it is crazy. And it was spitting out half moons like no other when it first started to put out leaves. This is one of the most beautiful leaves that it has. That large leaf there. But yeah, and that is why I'm loving my heartleaf variegated philodendron. So next we have my Scindapsus silver lady. This plant is beautiful. She is growing so well for me, and I'm just loving it. I just love the pattern on these leaves and how it looks. It's just stunning and shiny. I think my baby's crying, so give me 1 second. This also was, it started out as a nice cutting when I received it, but I did take cuttings from it as well, and it has grown back, and now it is 2 plants in one, and I think it looks stunning, and it's been growing pretty well for me. So that is why I'm loving my Scindapsus silver lady. Now here's the plant that you all haven't seen in a very, very, very long time. I ordered this plant long ago. If you want to see when I first received this plant, check out this video above here, up here in the corner. This plant was growing very well for me. It was growing slowly, I should say, but the leaves were coming out nice. Now this plant did begin to get sun bleached, and I think I went a time too long without watering it too long, and as you can see, these leaves look a little yellow, and when they begin to get sun stressed, I can actually clean these leaves. They're a little dusty, but when it began to get sun stressed, the speckles began to turn pink. I realized that, so I pulled it back from the window a little bit and I watered it. And when I did that, it started to put out new leaves. As you can see here, this leaf here, and these here, up here are all new leaves. This is called the Royal Hawaiian Purple Hoya, because I don't think I mentioned that for some reason. So yeah, but so when the new leaves come in, they're a royal purple color, and they kind of fade into a darker green like so. And sometimes it'll give you some pink speckles in there, depending on how much sunlight it's getting. And these two leaves just came in, and as you can see how dark they are, and they're baby leaves right now. And it's just putting out new leaves everywhere. If I look around, there's they start out as little babies, kind of looking like little claws, but then they begin to get larger. I'm really loving this plant right now. So yeah, and that is why. Now here I have my variegated orchid. I received this plant as a birthday gift from a plant group I was in on Facebook called the Foul Pals. It was beautiful. It came with some beautiful cranberry colored leaves, flowers on it. They died back. Not knowing really how to care for an orchid, I went on ahead and cut the stems back, which people say to do, but I don't think I will be doing that again. I will let them naturally die back, I would say, because it took forever, ever to get a spike on this plant. So I really loving this plant right now because she's giving me her first spike. And as you can see, she is about to bloom. Naturally, well, normally I should say, you're supposed to get 2 spikes, but in my case I've only got 1, but I'm grateful for it because I'm just happy to see 1. But yes, so she is stunting right now. I am really loving this orchid right now. And not to mention she's variegated, so she is cute already. But when those cranberry flowers pop, y'all, follow me on Instagram. I will be posting pictures and video footage, y'all. So yeah, of all these plants, I will be doing that. So yeah, and that is why I'm loving this orchid. Okay, last but not least, in this cloche I have my monstera stanleyana aura. Now you might be saying, why is it so small? Because in the last video she was about that size, and you would be correct. Now she is this small because she began to get root rot after that video, and I sold all the other little cuttings and I only kept one, like the largest one, of course. And when I noticed that she started to rot, her stems started to rot, I quickly took a cutting. Well, I chopped it in 2, hoping to save the plants. And I put them in perlite, and they did amazing in perlite. And so I went ahead and planted them both together, this one and this one, and they're doing great. And they live in the little cloche that I just showed you. And this one started out with the all white leaf, so that made me nervous. I thought she was gonna die. I was like, I'm glad I got the other one, because all white ain't a good sign on the very first leaf, so I was just really nervous. But then the second leaf that she's putting out has both white and green, and the white over time will turn yellow. So yeah, I'm happy about that. And this one, which started out with this leaf, which was a nice variegated leaf, then it gave me out this gorgeous leaf here, and now it's putting out a new leaf which looks like it's going to be much larger than the last two. So I'm happy, and that is why I'm loving this monstera stanleyana aurora, if I'm saying that correctly. I'm gonna put it on the screen, y'all. But yeah, those are my top 10. Okay, I know what you're thinking. That was only 9 and not 10. But that is because I lost some footage. But don't worry. Here's some footage of that 10th plant that I'm loving this month. Now check out my gorgeous Scindapsus pictus exotica. This is one of the two that I have, and it pretty much speaks for itself. You can definitely see why this is one of the top 10 plants that I'm loving this month. Now I can finally go ahead and end this video. Top 10 favorites right now that I'm loving, and I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Can you tell, and I would love for you all to tell me which one of the plants I showed you today was your favorite, or your favorite plant in general that you're in love with this month. Leave it down below, and until next time, enjoy peace, spread love, and be blessed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the notification bell so that you never miss a post. Share with all your planty friends. And follow me on my Instagram so that we can interact.